highway?
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Cowboys' top candidates for the Dallas Cowboys head coach in 2025. I think the writing is on the wall. McCarthy's out. Let's talk about the names. Here we go. Cap on time, baby. You know how we do it? Full effect. All right. So this list I've comprised of different names that you're starting to hear, some other names, some dark horses as well. Threw them into the mix. We've got a couple of candidates here, 8 of them. All right, let's go into it right now. Let's get into it. First one here, Jason Whitten, Gold Jacket Wit. All right, so Jason Whitten, Hall of Fame tight end, soon to be Hall of Fame tight end. He's in the mix. All right. If Jerry does anything well, he likes to do copycat shit around here. All right, so. You know, he's never been innovative, you know, but he does like to do some copycat stuff around here. So he sees what Dan Campbell's done, former tight end for the Cowboys under Parcells, what he's done. Oh, maybe I can do this now. Maybe I can do this with Jason Whitten. So Jason Whitten, he's in the conversation here, you know. Right now he's coaching, I think he's coaching high school football right now. Word is, if he were to come on board, Sean Lee would join him on the defensive side of the ball. All right. Last, I think it was like 2 years ago, Wade Phillips tried to snag Sean Lee out of retirement to be a coach for him in the XFL or the USFL, one of those. I forget which one it was, but he decided he wanted to stay put in Santa Clara, California. All right. But can Whitten bring him out as a defensive coach here for the Cowboys? Who knows? But he's on the list. Jason Whitten. The next candidate here for the Cowboys, Kellen Moore. Right? Kellen Moore, familiar name here. You know, came in here with Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. These guys, you know, he was cut at one point, came back. You know, and he was automatically given this genius title. Offensive genius, right? So Cowboys, you know, they do what they do. They brought him in here, made him the offensive coordinator. They did have some success here with him. You know, top offenses. He's having success there right now. Currently with the Eagles, I think they're like number 2 in running and pretty good in the passing game. All right, so Jerry loves Kellen Moore. All right, could he bring him back? It's possible as a head coach. That's why he's on the list. All right, who would he bring as defensive coordinator? You know, that's the next question. Next on the list, Aaron Glenn, the current defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. All right, Detroit Lions, if they get to the championship again or even the Super Bowl, they're probably going to lose some coaches. All right, they're gonna lose some key players. This always happens with these types of teams, usually. So, Aaron Glenn, he's a Parcells disciple. You know what I mean? So, tough nosed, you know, former cornerback in the league as well. So he knows this league. He knows football, knows it very well under Parcells. Same type of coaching style. Obviously, that's why he's there with Dan Campbell, who's also a Bill Parcells disciple. All right, so Aaron Glenn, he'll be in the mix. All right, Aaron Glenn is in the mix. He was a player here under Parcells here in Dallas as well. Aaron Glenn, he was here for a cup of coffee. All right, so he'll be brought in probably. He's a candidate. All right, Cowboys defense needs some new leadership, I think. The question is, however, you know, do you stick with a 4-3 or do you consider moving to a 3-4? These are questions that will be brought up. You know, it's possible that you know, Jerry's going to say we want to stick with the 4-3. Who are your coaches going to be? So that'll be the question there. But Aaron Glenn, he's on the list. Next on the list, Ben Johnson. All right, the hot name, the hottest of hot names. the offensive coordinator. He's already being rumored attached to the Chicago Bears already, so that could be already in the works there. That could be his landing spot, but should be on the Cowboys' radar for sure, because the Cowboys, they need some offensive refreshment, some fresh ideas with a younger offensive-minded coach as well. So Ben Johnson makes a lot of sense here. You know what I mean? Who would he bring on as your defensive coordinator? That would be my question there. But Ben Johnson, he's one of the candidates. Next on the candidate list, here's where we get into some familiar names, controversial and alike. All right, but these will be the names that they're going to be looked at. They're going to be very closely looked at by the Jones family. Whether fans like these names or not, it's not up to us. Jerry has proven he's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So we're getting into this territory here. Number 5 on my list, Chucky. All right, John Gruden. All right, so been out of league here for a couple of years now. Controversial background, obviously, but has skins on the wall. Knows football very well. Offensive minded, defensive minded, very well rounded coach. You know what I mean? I think his type of style would fit here perfectly with what the Dallas Cowboys do, with the whole circus and everything. And he would work well with Jerry Jones in this front office, obviously. So he would be a guy here that could hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And he has ties here to the current staff. Paul Gunther, currently here, linebacker coach, defensive assistant. He worked under John Gruden, so there's a connection there. Also, if they want to keep Mike Zimmer, Jay Gruden and Mike Zimmer work together at the Bengals, so there's familiarity there with the family, with the Grudens and Zimmer. So, this is where you get into the area of, leftovers. Do these guys get to clear everything and bring in their own guys, or is it going to be one of those things where we have Zimmer and Jerry's going to say, Zimmer's here, he's going to be your defensive coordinator, and that's it. All right, so John Gruden, all right, he's in the mix. Number 6 on my list, Bill Belichick. No, boo, everybody's booing and shit. It's not gonna happen. Jerry will never do it. He'll never. You hear all the remarks that you've seen out there. First of all, Bill Belichick would do it. All right, it's like Parcells said. Your name, it's being in Dallas is being like on Broadway and New York City, with the lights and everything. You're front and center. Does Belichick want that now? I think he's already had that, but Dallas Cowboys, that's a whole other thing here. Question for him would be: do you stick with 4-3 or do you go 3-4? Who will your coaches be? You know what I mean? So that one, the assistants. Are you bringing Matt Patricia to be your DC? And are you bringing in the boy wonder to be your offensive coordinator? So Bill Belichick's on the list. Number 7 on my list, Mike Vrabel. All right, hard-nosed coach, another Belichick, Parcells type of guy. He's had some success here in the league. You know what I mean? Didn't quite get into the Super Bowl action, but very competitive teams, very physical teams. You know what I mean? And that's what the Cowboys are missing, the physical element. And it starts from the top, from your head coach. So Mike Vrabel, no-nonsense coach. I think he would be high on the list. Does he get to bring in his own staff? That'll be the questions on a lot of these guys. And number 8 on my list, Dion Primetime Sanders. Okay. Oh, he said he'll never come to the NFL and this and that. Money talks, baby. Money talks, and so does Jerry and Dion. Dion got a big fat check from Jerry the first time around here as a cornerback. He's going to strike gold twice again, man. Dion is very particular as where he wants to coach, and Dallas would be one of them. Maybe the only one. Maybe Atlanta, but that position is already taken, right? So you've got the Cowboys who have an opening. His son is going to be going into the draft. Shador, all right? It's expected to be probably a top 10 pick, probably, right? Very dynamic, playmaking quarterback. mobile, can run these new age offenses. All right. So, Dion has said that he only wants him to be coached at certain kinds of locations, only a few teams. And, that could be the way to control this thing. You get a package deal, per se. You get Dion Sanders here to coach. You get your up-and-coming quarterback here. Oh, but we signed Dak Prescott to a big-ass contract. That was the front office mistake, man. And some of Jerry Jones' comments, don't look very good. I think he's got buyer's remorse. He's going to try to find a way out of that contract. I mean, it is what it is. Either way, any of these coaches should have the opportunity to get their own young quarterback. Yeah, Dak's here. Maybe let him ride out, sit on the bench a year or two. But Dak's probably going to get hurt again, man. You know what I mean? This is what I've been saying about Dak Prescott, where his career is at, has a parallel with Tony Romo. They're in their 30s. The injuries are starting to pop up. Missing games. So... this whole deal with Dak Prescott and the ankle, the boot during the offseason, and people blew it off, and then always hurting his hand. He's always digging his hand, the wrist. He's got the hamstring torn off the bone type deal. Oh, he's gonna be okay. You've got knucklehead fans saying, "Oh, he's gonna be okay." I mean, have you ever just pulled your hamstring? Just in general, that shit hurts. To pull it off the bone, it's going to require rehab. Don't be a freaking knucklehead around here. Oh, he's going to be okay. In quarterback age, it's almost like dog years, right? So he's going to be in his 30s. These injuries are going to start popping up. And if you want to start having success, you better have somebody in place. It's not going to be Cooper Rush. It's not going to be Trey Lance. It's not going to be Will Greer, all right? Start getting somebody in here and be responsible with your roster. Do what the Packers do. Do what the 49ers do. Start bringing in guys here to groom up, Don't wait for the next miracle to land in your lap like they've been doing with Romo and Dak. That shit ain't going to cut it, man. So this could be the year that they get somebody young in here to groom up, whether it's the first, second, or third round. You know what I mean? It's time, dude. It's time. They can't keep hiding. All right. They got to get in there under their skirts, grab those old ass hanging fucking balls, and get to work on the quarterback position. All right. Those are my top candidates, guys. Who do you think of this list who will be the Cowboys 2025 head coach? Let me know in the comments who you want it to be. All right. Who do you want it to be? Or who do you think the Cowboys will go with? Let me know in the comments. Peace.
Yeah, old school, baby.